You're the board member guy?
Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Jeff Conway.
I'm here.
Greg Strepka.
Here.
Kent Summerfield.
Here.
April Carlson.
Present.
Wade Welper.
Here.
Eric Morgan. Here. Okay. Agenda approval action. Superintendent search. All right, Gary Lee, take it away.
Okay, thanks, board members, and hopefully you can hear me good enough. We're going to be looking at tonight. We need a couple things that we need to get resolved. First, we're going to take a look at the candidates. Hopefully all of you have came in and looked at the applications. Please nod your head, yes you have. And then we're going to go through what we recommend, who we recommend that you interview. Then we'll have a discussion as to who you actually want to interview. Keep in mind that the names of these candidates are continued to be private until we name them as finalists that you're going to interview. So the candidates tonight, they're going to be referenced as candidate A, candidate B, and at the end of the meeting, once you take a vote on who you want to interview, I will make the announcement in no special order as to the candidates you chose to interview starting on Thursday, right? No, Wednesday and Thursday of this week. Depending on how many candidates you decide to interview, it might be only one night, but it may be 2 nights. So we'll get to that later on. I also just recently sent you the interview questions from last year that you used. And my recommendation would be is that since they are fairly new and none of the candidates, we don't have any repeat suspects in our pool, that we just go with last year's interview questions. And if you need to tweak them a little bit, then I certainly am open to that. Okay? So, and then lastly, I will be preparing a press release and a schedule and a few other documents for Wednesday's first round of interviews after we get all said and done. Are there any questions so far?
Are you able to hear him, Ken?
A little.
Are the Wednesday interviews online?
No, they're in person.
No, they're in person.
Except
Unless there's someone that we may have to potentially cater to. So you're gonna have to decide that or not, so.
Okay.
Okay.
Somewhere out of state.
Yeah, one is from the West Coast.
Yeah. So at this time, I would like to start reading our recommendations. If you have your notes handy, I will speak as loudly as I can without yelling at Kent. Okay?
You know what, before you do that, Gary, what would it take to get Gary on the phone? Because I need it louder.
Just call him and put him on speaker.
Okay, Gary, can you call my cell phone and we'll
Yes,
just put you in?
I can,
All
and
right.
then I'm gonna put this on mute.
Okay.
Has the candidates been labeled A, B, C already?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I don't have, I read them, but I didn't know, I didn't look for the letter.
So here's the
Oh, okay.
list.
I'm sorry.
thank goodness for technology, huh? Good idea. I was gonna have to go like this the whole time. They're already big enough.
All right, Gary, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Is that better?
Thank you.
April? Okay.
Okay, if you're ready. So I'm going to have a little bit of delay because I hear myself in my headphones. So I will just continue on. Okay, so starting with, we have 4 recommendations for tonight. We suggest that you interview. We're going to start, I'm going to take them in order of age or whatever. And we'll just go down this list. Please take notes. And we've done vetting on these 4 individuals. So first off, MSBA recommends the La Crescent Holga School District consider interviewing candidate application for the position of superintendent of schools for the 2022-23 school year. Candidate A holds a current Minnesota superintendent license and has experience as a teacher, a coach, an athletic director, assistant principal, and a principal at all grade levels. References made the following statements about candidates' leadership. The current superintendent of candidate A's school observed, this candidate is a moral compass that directs their work and their consistency in character is a model for others. This superintendent offered that his recommendation of candidate A is one of the highest recommendations I have ever given in my 24 years as a school and district administrator, and had hoped candidate A would stay on as the next superintendent when he left. A school board member described candidate A as patient and thoughtful in all their dealings with staff, board members, and the community, and that board members often sought candidate A out for their background and explanation on a matter. He also called this candidate very well viewed by the community, and that he sure wished we were keeping candidate A. A subordinate described candidate A as most approachable, empowering, and ethical administrator I have worked for in my 17 years of teaching. Also citing examples which demonstrate the candidate's desire to make success for all students a priority. A colleague of candidate A observed that during this candidate's time as principal, they have shown to be a successful leader by setting high standards and expectations while articulating the relevance to the many stakeholders they serve. Candidate A is an exemplary leader who approaches education with a commitment to student achievement and the relevant past practices needed to move the organization forward. In addition to their focus on academic achievement, candidate A has worked to build an inclusive community. Candidate A meets the hiring criteria established by the La Crescent Holga School Board and has acknowledged desire to interview for the superintendent position if called by the district. That is candidate A. Okay. The next candidate that we're going to bring forward is candidate B. Candidate B holds a current Minnesota superintendent license and has experience as a teacher, director of teaching and learning, curriculum director, principal, and superintendent. References made to statements about candidate B's leadership. A superintendent that candidate B mentored under stated and wrote, candidate B is a rare administrator demonstrating a mastery of legal, budgetary, leadership, and curriculum, while also understanding the importance of personal relationships with staff, students, and families in operating a school district. The candidate is fully capable of navigating complex situations involving various stakeholders
and resolves conflict well and handles themselves in high-stress conditions with poise. In addition, candidate B embeds themselves in the community and makes sure the students and families get the services they need. She understands diverse populations, builds coalition within the broader community, and works well with internal and external stakeholders. Her greatest asset as an administrator is her ability to strategically think and innovatively plan. A school board member in candidate B's district stated, candidate B is passionate about educating all students. She is patient in her leadership and has the ability to get to the root of problems and solve those issues with research-based, creative ways and the support of staff and stakeholders. She has taken our educational system to places we would never thought possible. A colleague stated about candidate B, candidate B is very ethical and has integrity that is beyond reproach. Good communication skills and the fact that she truly cares about the community, its children and families. She really supports our school board members' work. Candidate B is very creative, persistent, and not afraid to take on difficult situations. Candidate B meets the hiring criteria established by the school board of La Crescent-Honka and has acknowledged a desire to interview for the superintendent position if called by the district. Okay, going on to our third recommendation. Candidate E. Candidate E holds a current Minnesota superintendent license and has experience as principal, athletic director, and teacher. References made about the following statements about candidate E's leadership. A superintendent who currently supervises candidate E's work stated, candidate E is a skilled leader who has the ability to look at systems on a macro level, see all the pieces at play, and instinctively lead their team to find solutions to areas in need of improvement or change. This candidate is a highly creative leader who knows how to pull the voices of all into collaborative planning and problem solving. A superintendent who supervised candidate E's administrative work stated, candidate E has my absolute unreserved top-notch recommendation. This candidate is a natural leader who works cooperatively with all parties in their school to provide the very best learning environment possible for everyone. Candidate E is valued and trusted by all for their compassionate leadership. Another superintendent who supervised candidate E stated, candidate E has my 100% support. I would hire them in a minute for any administrative position. Their leadership in our school was outstanding. This candidate is energetic, a thinker, and a team player who will readily take on challenges and work collectively with others to find positive solutions. A fellow administrator in candidate E's district stated, candidate E is going to be a phenomenal superintendent and the type of leader others gravitate to and want to work with and for. They are trustworthy, transparent, and extremely relational with all parties. Candidate E meets the hiring criteria established by the La Crescent-Honka School Board and has acknowledged a desire to interview for the superintendent position if called by the district. And lastly, candidate F. Candidate F is working toward completing a Minnesota superintendent license with the approximate date of completion of early to mid-August 2022. Candidate F has experience as a teacher, assistant principal, and principal. References made the following statement about Candidate F's leadership. A student services administrator wrote the following about Candidate F. Committed, relational, self-starter, servant leader, a wonder. These are a few words I would use to describe Candidate F as an educational leader. Candidate F is an educator of high quality and experience. I appreciate her openness in thinking and problem solving. Candidate F is genuine in her relationships with students and staff. She has a heart for serving others and is committed to high, equitable learning outcomes for all students. Candidate F is an experienced and strong leader. She develops good relationships. She identifies issues, seeks solutions, and steps in where help is needed. I believe Candidate F would be an asset to your team as she has been an asset to ours. An administrative colleague in Candidate F's district stated, Candidate F has demonstrated high quality leadership and interpersonal skills, has embraced many minds with an open mind, many changes with an open mind, and has had a sharp focus on supporting best practices in teaching and learning. Candidate F sets high standards and expectations for the staff she works with and works hard to ensure that she offers high levels of support as they learn and grow in best practices that benefit each student's learning. I have also observed Candidate F to model this as she sets high standards and expectations. Oh, this, I'm sorry, guys. This reverb is just screwing me up. I have observed that Candidate F will model this as she sets high standards and expectations for himself, herself, and always strives to do her best support for the students, families, and staff she serves. A director. What happened to my reverb though? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you. I
No.
figured it out. I can mute you here, so you shouldn't hear yourself.
Perfect, thank you.
Job done.
All right, a director of specialized educational services stated about Candidate F. Candidate F is a creative, sincere educator who relates to others in a confident manner and cooperates with them in solving problems and making improvements. Candidate F has been actively involved in district strategic planning activities. Candidate F has shown to lead with great integrity and courage. She makes herself accessible and approachable to field questions and provides support to staff as needed in a respectful manner. She possesses the necessary technical, organizational, personal, and professional attributes to effectively contribute and lead at the district level. Candidate F meets the hiring criteria established by the school board of ISD 300 and has acknowledged the desire to interview for the superintendent position if called by the budget. So members, that ends our presentation of our recommendations. So at this time, it'd be appropriate now for each of the board members to taking this information as input to look at your lists and see if you have any additional questions about any of the candidates and who you would like to see move forward for interviews.
Well, April, you've got
Terrific notes. Do you wanna go first? With your pros and cons and whatnot?
Sure. I had B, E, and F as my 3. So good job, Gary. I did not have A. I guess I wouldn't be opposed to interviewing that candidate, but I had some cons in that person's letter.
Such as?
The letter was very focused on I versus team or we.
Yeah.
That person also does not have superintendent experience. I'm a little gun shy with that right now. I think B, E, and F are excellent candidates. We're supposed to say why we like them,
don't
or
need to.
are we
Oh,
good?
yeah. No.
Good, okay. I definitely would like to interview B, E, and F. And I'm neutral on A, I guess. If other people want to interview that person, I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I wasn't interested in interviewing that person.
How about you, Mr. Welper?
B, E, and F, I would go with that. The only reason I would add in number A is I think one of our candidates is interviewing in multiple places, and I'm be interested to see if that person may even show up. So I will include A just to have the 4. Is that safe to say, Gary?
That's safe to say, yes.
All right.
What letter is that?
I won't say which letter it is. I'm just saying one of them is, can I say lettered here?
You can say the letter.
Okay, I can say candidate B
Yeah.
has some other interviews going, because I think that person is very qualified.
Yeah, be a smart thing to do.
Yeah, exactly. That person may or may not show up, so that's why I would say we should also include candidate A, just to make sure we have 4.
But we want somebody with experience, correct?
We would like it.
We'd like somebody.
I'm sorry, Gary, go ahead.
But F doesn't have it, correct?
Correct.
And just to be clear, it's more than candidate B that's interviewing different places.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure they're all.
Candidate E is also
E,
interviewing.
yeah, I saw E is too.
Okay.
Greg, did you have a list?
I did. D was on my list too, but I was thinking
okay.
more than 4, but 4 will work.
And I can, D would be an individual that's on the bubble for us.
Which letter?
D.
D,
D, okay.
Is it due for?
the dog, that's Greg, that's the one you had added, right?
What's that?
You said D as in dog,
Yes, correct.
so that one was on the bubble for us.
So I'm just trying to do a straw poll here as we're going. So Greg, you had A, B, E, and F?
I also had D. I was thinking more than 4.
Okay, but did you have A, B, E, and F?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
D had a letter from last year to another school district as his,
Did he?
I thought you would have screened that out, Gary.
Yeah, Gary.
Yeah, Gary. I thought you would have given that person a heads up there.
No, it's
I missed
all up
that.
to them on what they do. We don't.
All
We
right.
don't-
It gave us the impression you didn't read them. That's what we were thinking, but anyway.
No, that's perfectly fine. We
I
can,
feel like attention to detail is,
Yeah, details matter.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Fine, you get a pass,
a
Gary.
year old to another district, so,
Okay.
that's perfectly fine.
Jeff Conway.
Are any of these candidates from way far away that we got?
Candidate A is from,
Oh,
Yeah, we don't have to say
no.
where, we don't have to say where, but that's,
Yeah.
from
okay.
farther away, yes.
yep, okay.
I like the 4 you picked.
Okay.
I do.
oh,
Okay.
can I change my vote then?
How about you, Gary?
How about you change your location?
I did not do my homework, so.
It's okay, but what do you think of the?
I think we absolutely need as many candidates to interview as we can.
Okay, so you'd
'Cause
be in favor of all 4?
Oh, at least,
Okay,
Okay.
I think the 4 is it.
you need them.
There's a couple I would say just no to. So I think the 4 we have, I think is good. I really do. Not just to get out of here earlier, but I really do think those 4 are
The 4 works
So
good.
A,
From
B,
the one
E,
that-
and F.
yeah.
yeah.
Are
A,
these
B,
the only,
E, F, yep.
My only question is, are these the only people that applied?
Oh, there's 7 total.
No, I understand that, but
With-
was it just 7 total that applied, or were there like 20?
I don't know, how many, is this the total, Gary?
This is it.
There was
We're
only
muted.
7. There was an 8th, but the 8th pulled her name out of the hat.
Oh.
Total, there were 7, and that's the way we do it, is we make sure you see every single application.
Gotcha.
That's,
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
yep.
Well,
I am disappointed there was not more diversity in our candidate pool
Yeah,
of applicants.
Right.
I wish we could find a way to encourage others to apply that. So that's disappointing, but I don't know how
Yeah.
to change that.
Yeah, we can't really change that.
We did have one other candidate that came in too late. It was already closed. When they apparently weren't paying attention, you know, it wouldn't have added to your diversity per se. But it would have increased the pool a little bit. You have to understand that the pool is so shallow now that we're seeing bare spots in the pool. Okay, that's just life of where we're at today.
that's where Wade's more comfortable anyway.
that, you just described the dating scene in the mid-90s in Houston County.
Also in 2022.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry, yes, we have
Yes.
some other professional opinions on
Yes.
that.
Okay.
As
Well,
Gary, could I ask if that person who applied, had they ever applied before?
No,
Okay, all right, thank you.
ooh, I mean,
Can we still let them?
can you tell us a little bit about them, or
I suppose
Her?
not.
Or
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 her, them?
they didn't make the cut. We
Okay.
haven't vetted the individual. I have no idea if the individual.
Her? All right. That's
I
fine.
Okay.
A brief email I got from him that him or her that said, you know, if things go south, you know, I'd like to talk to him, but she understood that they missed the deadline, and that's just the way it is.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough. Well, would anyone here have a problem with only having 4 interviews? Anyone feel the strong need to have 5 or 6?
I'm not really interested in any of the other candidates, so I would rather stick with 4 and.
You're,
4 works.
okay, well,
There it
Gary,
is.
I think, yeah, we're all in agreement. Can we roll with these 4, Gary?
Yeah, we certainly can.
Okay.
Do you want to do it on 2 separate nights then, 2 interviews a night? Or do you want to try and ram them, or what do you want to do?
Ram 'em.
One long
Ram 'em.
night?
One night.
Well,
That's 4 hours,
ideally,
right?
I
It's an hour
think
apiece.
speed is important. If we could do them, if we could do 4 the one night and 2 the next.
Okay, so if we start at
Wait,
4
what?
o'clock.
Why don't we do it
let's
at
Wait,
just-
wait,
Four.
wait, sorry.
Hold on.
So the 4, we'll pick 2 from the 4. I guess let's talk, okay,
Or we,
So
Or you make it 4.
if we do 4 for the first round,
yeah,
then it's entirely up to you to pick 1, 2, or 3, or all 4 again, really, to come back for a second round. You know, chances are you're going to whittle them down after the first round, and you might only have 2, but you may have 3. You may say that there's only 1 that we really want to talk to. And I hope that doesn't happen, because we always, in the second round of interviews, there
Yeah.
gets to be this repositioning, okay?
which happened last time.
Yep.
Yeah, and so we need to keep that in mind. So if we do 4, no laughing, Wade Welper, and
bad man.
if we do all 4 of them on a Wednesday, you say Wednesday night,
Yep,
and get them all taken care of, then usually the deliberation for the first round goes really fast. So it won't take us long, shouldn't take us long to deliberate as to who's coming back for second round interviews. So we sitting there till 11 o'clock at night is what I'm getting at.
right.
So if we started at 4, first one at 4 o'clock, second one is at 5:15, the third one is at 6:30, The last one is at 7:45, which means that we would start deliberation at 9 o'clock and hopefully would be out of there by 9:20 to 9:30. So you would be there for about 5.5 hours if we do them all in one night.
And we're starting when, at 4?
Or, now we can move up the time if you want, but that's your choice.
Well, I'm just thinking, I mean, I know I get hangry, so I suppose we can have food brought in.
Yep.
Yeah. There's a 15-minute break in there, so you can choke some
You can
food
go
down.
DoorDash it.
Minutes between each one.
Got it, okay.
And sometimes these interviews don't go the full hour, so you might even get an extra few minutes in there. But
We're cutting them off in an hour though, right, Gary?
1 hour, you're done.
Add a
See you-
guy. There we go.
You done.
You're done.
So it's either one long night or two.
Well, I think I'm one of 7, or I'm one of 6, but I would like to see 2 rounds, just because you get another shot at the person.
No, it'd either be like do 2 Wednesday, 2 Thursday.
And then you have 3 nights.
Oh, yeah, I don't want 3 nights. I
And then
want
the
2
second
Yeah.
rounds wouldn't be till like next week.
nights. Right.
Right, the following Monday.
Right,
You like that
so we
idea?
wouldn't do like 4 Wednesday and then
I want to do 4
final
Wednesday,
rounds
and then we'll
Thursday.
decide what we'll do from there.
Okay.
I want to get all the initial first round of candidates done Wednesday night.
So ideally, hypothetically, theoretically, 4 on Tuesday, 4 on Wednesday.
Yep.
2 or 3 finalists come back for the Thursday night. We pick
But-
our winner.
Oh,
Monday.
Monday.
No, that's
Monday.
not till Monday. Second round isn't till Monday.
Yeah, because we need time for someone on your board to vet those last characters, or
Yeah.
candidates.
Oh.
Yeah, because one of
So
us
if we
has
do
to
them
call
all
in.
Wednesday, then we have nothing Thursday.
Oh.
Yep.
I was thinking we were, okay.
Or we could do 2, and I know Wade doesn't want to do this, we could do 2 Wednesday, 2 Thursday, and then do finals on Monday. So the option is everything Wednesday, off Thursday, or
I s-
2 and 2. And I don't care, you guys can pick, I don't have a choice, I don't have an
Let's
opinion.
also remember here too, all these people may not show up, so then we'll be scheduling around something, we'd all have to come back to maybe
For
do
one.
one interview.
Yeah, like
That which
that
would
happened last
suck.
time.
Yes, so I prefer to do all 4, because I don't know if all 4 are gonna make it.
So, all right.
I'm
All
up
those
for
in
all
favor of
4.
4,
Yeah, that's
can you raise your hand if you're good for 4 on Thursday night?
I'm fine.
Okay, Wednesday night, I mean?
If we're already coming in,
Wednesday
anyway,
night.
might as well do it.
Okay,
Yeah, let's do
so
it.
that's what we're gonna roll with. Wednesday night, we'll do all 4, and then we'll pick our, whatever we're gonna do that night, and then Monday, the 7th, will be the final round.
Sounds good. Do we have an actual motion that has taken place? Did I miss that earlier? To
No.
bring, did we do a motion for the 4? Need someone to do a motion.
I moved, oh, absolutely.
You can go.
No, I insist.
Okay. I will make a motion to, offer first round interviews to candidates A, B, E, and F on Wednesday at 4 PM.
Second,
Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Very good. Thank you, people. What do you think about the questions? Are you good with the questions that we had from last time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, April's got it.
You want to add some?
No, I think they were fine, except for we'll have to switch, because is Patty not participating?
No,
in
Patty
that?
will not be able to be with us.
So we'll have to, because, our names are on each question, so we'll have to switch them so that Patty's
Yeah.
off, so that we know which questions we're each asking.
Yep. I'll take care of that for you.
Okay.
And can we get those printed?
Yeah.
Yep. I'll send them off to Brittany tomorrow. Okay? Or maybe even before my next board meeting. See, tonight is really unique. I'm meeting with you guys in the southeast corner. And at 7:30, I'm meeting with the Greenbush board way up in the northwest corner. Have
Well,
to travel.
don't
Oh,
offer
this is
any
just
of
cool.
these candidates to them.
Yeah.
Stop. Take these off their
Right.
list.
Oh, they're not to that point yet, so
Okay.
they're just getting going. All right.
So then Gary, you will contact the candidates and arrange interview times and, okay.
Yep, that'll happen. I'm gonna take list off to Shelby, and Shelby will be sending an email to each of these 4 candidates, and then we system that they can just pick and choose. So,
Yes, Kent has a question.
Yeah, so if we only end up, if one of them declines to be interviewed, what happens to the schedule?
then what happens if there's a hole in the middle? Then I make a phone call to those that are at the end after them to see if I can rearrange it to get them all compacted, starting with 4 o'clock, and get them all together so we aren't sitting around for an hour and 15 minutes for no reason.
Gotcha.
Now, we also have one candidate that is out of state. Are you okay with this candidate interviewing virtually for the first round?
Yes.
For the first round, yeah.
Yeah, and for the second round, the candidate has indicated that they would purchase an airline ticket and fly in. So,
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
so very good. I think that's really all I have for tonight. If I've missed something, I will get a hold of Brittany and she will straighten me out on whatever needs to be straightened up. Okay?
Gary, should I expect a press release for selecting, okay.
Yep, as soon as I get off the horn here. So I will fill that out and email that to you along with a schedule. Once the schedule is finalized, once we get people signing up for, spots, I'll get that scheduled to you. And then I will be there in person on Wednesday at right around 3:30 is when I'll show up over there. Okay? Good. I know that really helps that we're doing it all in one night and I don't have to make 2 trips. So that's good. I really appreciate it. I think that's all we really have to get done tonight, guys. One last thing. Who, between round 1 and round 2, is going to additionally vet the candidates that we move into round 2? Who's going to check references?
I'm happy to do it, but I think more than one person should do it.
I'll help you with it.
Okay.
So you can split it up then. You know what? Eric could take 1 candidate or 2, Wade the other 1 or 2, and call their references. I'll give you that information after the first round of interviews of what you do, but you're going to contact their references and see what you can find out. So about them. And then you will give that report on Monday night after we finish the second round of interviews.
Okay. And then as far as staff feedback and general public feedback and whatnot, how surveys or how, since we're all doing it in person, walk me through it.
So you have choices. We recommend that you do things in the second round.
Okay.
Not for the first round. But now you as a board can say, we've already, a year ago, you did a full survey and you gathered all that information. So I can forward that summary to you guys again if you want that.
Yeah, I think that'd be good.
Or would you have it, Brittany?
Yeah, I have it, Gary, I can forward it to them.
So Brittany will get that to you. And then what you can do is you can have, there's 2 options for the second round. Actually 3 options. The first option is you have their own separate listening session. So the candidate would be there for a couple hours then, meeting with this group, and they come with information. We have never seen that happen this year. It's been, people don't really want to get into that. What we do see is that certain stakeholders are invited to participate or to sit in on the second round of interviews, and we give them a form that they fill out electronically of strengths and opportunities for growth. And then they fill that out electronically, we summarize it, and we provide that to the board during their deliberations during round 2. The last option is you just say, we've gotten all the stakeholder feedback we need from that survey a year ago. And we were elected to do this job, and we're just going to do it ourselves. That's your 3 options for round 2.
So I like the middle one with the feedback.
I don't like option 3.
Yeah.
I'd like to get, give
Two
them a
would be
chance to
fine,
give,
I think.
I want feedback from.
right.
So what we need to do between now and the second round of interviews is to identify a handful of people that are going to listen to the second round of interviews, and then we will provide them with the method to do their input. Okay? So let's kind of kick around what groups we want to have participate, and then Brittany can maybe reach out to those groups and get a volunteer or 2. So for example, you got the teachers union, you got the para group, you got custodians. I don't know if I'm missing other staff members.
Administrators.
Your other administrative staff. So you got those 4 employee type groups. You could pull in someone from the community, from,
Student? Can we have a student?
you certainly could.
We have in the past.
Okay.
Like a Caitlin
So,
or?
and when would they do these surveys?
When they're here on Monday.
So would we have the results right away?
Yeah, absolutely. So at the end of every single interview, then they have a link that they quickly input in those 15 minutes between interviews. They can quickly, so they need to have a device available to them so that they can input their comments, because they're going to pick 3 strengths and 3 areas of growth, up to 3 of each. Input those basically 6 sentences. And then I have someone on staff that just summarizes all these things as they come in. So we will summarize it, and then when we have a break between the last interview and deliberation, I'll get those results along with you now. Remember probably last year you were filling out EMD on hand. All right. So you need to have devices also, so that instead of, you're going to have that sheet in front of you so that you can mark them during the interview, but then we're going to have you go in to a survey for each one and just quickly go down and mark EMD, 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 EMD for that candidate. And that way it'll be summarized just like that before deliberations start too. And I will provide you with an email of that summary. It works really slick this way, guys.
I'm just running through my head how what do we give the union like 5 slots? Give us 5 names of people who are committed and will show up.
I think that's what we did last time, isn't it?
Okay.
We
I don't remember the number.
I think, yeah, I don't remember either.
I can look that up, and then if
Okay.
you wanna just tell me, and then I can coordinate.
You want some from the other groups then, or are you just looking at the team?
No, well, I mean, I think it's, I was just kinda expecting the administration to be in on it, all of them.
We don't want 20 of them.
No.
Right.
know.
Well, right.
20 gets to be a lot of comments to sift through.
But like, we had 20 chairs set up tonight and nobody showed up, which
Yeah.
is interesting, but
But maybe you look at, so how many buildings do you guys have?
2.
2. And 1 elementary and 1 high school then type of a deal?
Yeah, the middle school, high school is together, and then the elementary. Yep.
So maybe you look at 2 teachers from each building, potentially, an administrator from each building, para from each building if you want. That gets us up to 8. You got a student, that's 9. And then do you want any custodians or cooks or,
We had 13 last,
You had 13 last time.
and it
Yeah.
was, teachers, administrators, Pat, so building and grounds, someone in our office, 2 teachers at each building.
Okay.
I'll send you the list.
that sounds good, Brittany. So then give me and then once you get that list, Brittany, I will send you instructions for them, but we won't do that until between round 1 and round 2, okay?
Yep.
Anything else on the agenda before I read the names of who we're going to interview? Nothing? Okay. In no particular order. You said nobody's visiting today in this board meeting?
Nope.
It is recorded though.
It is recorded. God, I gotta be careful about this one. The board has moved to interview Jeff Wilson. Give me a sec. Jeff, currently the elementary principal at the Brooklyn Center Community Schools. The board has offered an interview to Bradley Brzezinski. Bradley is currently a principal in Molalla High School in Oregon. Board has also offered an interview to Jay Wohler. Jay is currently a elementary principal in Eastern Carver County School District. Lastly, you've offered Melinda Crowley, who's currently the superintendent at the Red Lake School District. Okay, that's it.
Okay, and you said Wohler is principal at Carver County?
Eastern Carver County.
Eastern Carver County, okay. All right, does anyone have any further questions for Monsignor Lee? No?
I'm Lutheran, by the way.
Father Lee? Pastor Lee, there it is. Okay,
Move to adjourn.
second. All right, thanks, Garrett.
Gary,
I'll speak.
Thank you.
would it be okay if I called you tomorrow just to ask you a few small questions, like 5 minutes?
Yeah, you can call me now if you want, because I got an hour before my next
Okay.
meeting. Yeah.
Okay. I'll do that.
Yeah.
Bye.
All right, thank
Bye.
you.
Sounds good.